Hi, I'm Alec, and the claim I am responding to, the claim I am responding to is that adult comedy cartoons have become very violent over the years. However, I felt the need to change the claim because in her secondary claims, they were all exclusively about children. So I changed the claim to the violence in adult comedy cartoons has a negative effect on children. Her secondary claims were, first, some researchers believe that high level of violence in adult comedy can make children more aggressive. Her second was studies also found that young children tend to mimic the negative behavior they see on television. And the third is preschoolers are being exposed to a large number of violent acts in adult comedy. My response to claim one is, while that the high level of violence can make more children aggressive, my opponent unfortunately did not give any evidence to support this. So I found some. Laura Clark from Mail Online says, high levels of violence in cartoons such as Scooby-Doo can make children more aggressive, researchers claim. Brandon Ybarra from BGSU said that for every hour of TV watched per day, risk of injury increased. From personal experience, response to her second claim, where young children tend to mimic the negative behavior they see, I have found evidence to back this up, which was not my opponent's speech. The American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry stated that children who view shows in which violence is very realistic, frequently repeated or unpunished, are more likely to imitate what they see. Also, my opponent claimed that children saw themselves as leaders because of this. I fail to see how being a leader of a group is a negative thing. In response to her third claim, it makes simple sense that she talks about how preschoolers are being exposed to large number of violent acts in comedy. It would make sense that something meant for adults would affect the preschooler. In fact, a study that appeared in the journal Pediatrics claims that all cartoons have a negative effect on young children, whether adults or not. It was found on the awareness.ca website that cartoons were actually used to be aimed for adults in general. That's why younger ones have violence in them. And also, personal experience, just watching Star Wars when I was young made me want to reenact it, So in conclusion, adult cartoons do harm children. I just hope that I've outlined that more clearly than my opponent did.
Thank you. I've got the timer running up here, but if I miss it, I will ask. Thank you. All right, Alec, we appreciate your speaking, even though you're not really feeling up to it. It helps us get through the queue a little bit quicker. And I thought that you did a fine job trying to keep things organized and speaking to the audience. So it's not the presentation issues that are problematic. It's just a little confusing to me because it sounds like basically what you've decided is the advocate made this claim. It wasn't very clear. Here's a clearer version of the claim, and let me prove it better than the advocate did. And that's not really a refutation. You could argue, for instance, that the advocate's claim is too broad to make any inference on, and that you could go in either direction based on what the advocate was talking about. Here's an illustration about how this could support the advocate's claim, and then the exact opposite point, this could also support the advocate's claim. That maybe would be an acceptable strategy, but that's not really what you're doing most of the places here. You really just feels like you're saying, I think this is what the advocate was arguing, and here's some evidence that would better prove that, that particular point. So we're not really getting a contradictory point of view. It's like you are the second affirmative speaker, and you are backing up your partner's argument, and there hasn't been a negative speaker intervening between the two speeches. So that is a little bit of a problem. I did like some of the evidence that you cited, and It still sounds kind of generic. I think there are good questions to ask on this topic on either perspective, but part of the problem might have been the abstract nature of the original argument. I can kind of see what you're trying to do here. I'm not sure that it was the way that you should go. It seems to me like it's the opposite. Instead of helping your cause, you've kind of undermined your cause here. All right, thank you.